I'm going to tell you a story. The gift giver will remain nameless because it's a little close to the family.
I know, it's that close, right, Kylie?
She got an electric drum set and it had one switch on it, on and off. It had no volume control, and I tried taping over the speaker. I tried putting it on a blanket when Wyatt wanted to play with it. I could not get it to not be just assaulting everyone's ears when she was playing with the toy. Cut to the following Christmas. That same person brought us another drum set. I have so much guilt associated with this because as the new drum set was being opened, all I could think about was the fact that the old drum set was still retired in the cabinet.
Not just Kylie Kelce, but countless other mothers know the struggle of being kept awake by the endless pounding of little hands on anything that makes noise, a constant storm of sound that somehow becomes one of the sweetest chapters of childhood memories and purest joy. And if you trace the newest, most infectious rhythm shaking the Kelce household, the trail is impossible to miss. It begins as a soft, hesitant tap like a secret being whispered, then swells into a bold, unstoppable thunder of excitement. Drumsticks. Strike a practice pad, then a cymbal, then absolutely anything that dares to hold a beat. A cookie tin lid, a wooden bowl, even the side of the sofa. And at the center of this joyful chaos is none other than 5-year-old Wyatt, a spark of endless energy and laughter, who stumbled upon drums the way other kids discover crayons, instantly consumed by obsession and unleashing a glorious storm of sound. For the Kelce family, the drums didn't just arrive. They came as 2 miraculous gifts in the very same year, filling the home with a heartbeat of love, rhythm, and unforgettable memories. One Christmas morning, a sparkling box far too grand. For such small hands appeared beneath the tree, hiding inside a child-sized kit with a snare, a cymbal, and sticks that carried a spark of confidence. Then, on her birthday, came another surprise. This one bigger, bolder, complete with a kick drum that shook the floors with every beat. Both gifts arrived with handwritten notes, sweet scribbles from an aunt who understands the cost of passion, and the magic of encouragement. Taylor Swift, now woven into the Kelce family as both a beloved partner and a musical icon, turned music into something that felt like belonging, not just a spectacle for sold-out arenas. Kylie, the ever-grounded and good-humored mother, recalls the very first moment Wyatt uncovered the secret inside that box. She opened it like she had discovered the moon, Kylie laughs, because that's how people describe it. They can't stop smiling when they tell the story. She embraced it as if it were a new best friend, though this friend came with a volume switch that had no mercy for thin walls or siblings trying to sleep. At first, the drums were pure magic, Wyatt gripping the sticks with wide-eyed focus, tilting, her head as if every beat were a sacred secret, listening carefully, then proudly echoing the rhythm. The house filled with tiny victories, a steady 4 count, a rim shot so triumphant she clapped for herself. But kids are kids, and soon the practice pad evolved from a neat lesson into the household soundtrack. The girls discovered cymbal crashes could startle Nessie and bounce wild echoes off the walls. Sisterhood only multiplied the chaos. Elliot twirled and spun to Wyatt's beat while 2-year-old Bennett crouched at the bass drum, stomping the pedal with the intensity of a little explorer uncovering treasure. Together, the 3 became a pint-sized percussion band, all flailing limbs, mischievous grins, and so much raw energy it made art museums look tame. Kylie's early joy, shared by everyone at first, eventually met the harder truths of daily life. Drum sessions could stretch for hours, rattling tables and walls like a marching band had stormed the living room. It was precious, but it was deafening. And Kylie, ever patient, ever kind, reached her limit the moment a thunderous solo drowned out a weekend recording, her laptop freezing under the quake. Still, she never banned the drumming, not even then. It all came from a place of practical love, protecting nap times, conference calls, even the dogs. The family laughs while remembering. But instead of silencing the music, Kylie simply banned drums from the living room. That rule, banished but never forbidden, became a classic line in family lore. The kits were rolled into the garage, cushioned with padding and a promise. The beat could go on, but with care for the house that carried their rhythm. Taylor's role wasn't about strict lessons, but about granting permission. She'd send videos reminding them to practice gently, take breaks, and even shared clips of her own clumsy first attempts at new songs. She made music feel like life itself, woven between coffee cups, late nights, and children learning to count a beat. Kylie said when those kits arrived, they weren't just instruments, they were permission slips to be loud, to fail boldly, and to keep trying in front of people who loved them. Aunt Taylor often showed up with kid-sized ear protectors, laughing as she sang along while Wyatt thundered away, her presence a soft stamp of approval that made the kids and grown-ups feel part of something magical. She'd offer practical tips. Count to 4, use your wrist, not your arm. And whimsical ones too, like play as if you're marching to the moon. And somehow, in both ways, she struck the perfect balance of discipline and wonder. The girls soon built their own rituals around rhythm. Breakfast sometimes kicked off with Wyatt drumming on cereal bowls with wooden spoons, while rainy afternoons turned into puppet show concerts where the toys served as a captive audience. For one unforgettable family moment, the trio staged a full concert with cardboard box risers, a cousin's handmade poster, and rows of stuffed animals, Uncle Trav seated proudly as VIP. The chaotic 5-minute masterpiece ended with cheers from family, and even a neighbor who poked his head in, applauded, then asked if rehearsals were a thing. But the comedy never stopped, like the time Wyatt decided the windowsill made a perfect drum, sending fairy lights tumbling in a tiny waterfall. Or the absurdly operatic moment when her floor tom flourish synced perfectly with the kitchen timer, leaving Jason staring, half shocked and half laughing. Every mishap became a treasured story, retold with embellishments, the girls chiming in with gleeful pride. Through it all, Taylor's steady presence glowed like a guiding light. She never demanded rigid lessons or perfect recitals. She championed curiosity. She gave them not just the notes of music, but the courage to play them loudly, freely, and without fear. When Wyatt grew anxious over a tricky rhythm, Taylor would gently remind her, "Music is a secret language between you and the world. Say anything you want." That simple truth, expression wrapped in empathy, turned every crash and clatter into something bigger than noise. It became love in motion, a gift echoing through the house. Kylie learned to adapt with grace, adding noise-reducing pads, rearranging rooms so the drum space had extra cushioning and a door to soften the thunder, and even setting gentle concert hours that let the girls play without overwhelming the house. It was a balance that worked. The kids kept their music, Kylie regained her peace, and the family found harmony in both sound and silence. Jason often joined in with perfect comic timing, slipping in rim shots that instantly diffused any tantrum, while Donna Kelce cherished the growing sense of musical legacy, watching songs pass between generations like little heirlooms. As the story gets retold at barbecues, over kitchen chatter, and in buzzing family group texts, it becomes clear. It's not about the noise, but about how the drumming has soundtracked life's milestones. Scraped knees, bedtime giggles, first day of school. Nerves and spur-of-the-moment kitchen dance parties. At night, when the tiny trio finally collapses into bed, cheeks flushed and the house quiet again, Kylie smiles with perspective. The band was never chaos. It was a map, showing how to make room for music without losing space for life. And in the distance, neighbors sometimes hear the faintest twilight rhythms from the garage, soft sticks keeping time. On special evenings, when Auntie Taylor visits, she'll sit beside Wyatt, take up a pair of drumsticks, and add her own beat to the family song. The aunt who once commanded glittering arenas now bends low beside a 5-year-old, adjusting tiny hands with patient care, while the younger sisters look on, wide-eyed and spellbound. Then, in a burst of pure spontaneity that lights up the entire room, they fall into a gentle, imperfect rhythm together, the kind that speaks not of polish, but of beginnings. The sound is unsteady, radiant, and alive, a joyful chaos carrying more meaning than any flawless melody ever could. And in that beautiful mess, every ear in the room catches the outline of something larger, the unmistakable shape of a future built on rhythm, love, and belonging.